everyone. Myself Srivalli, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Cybersecurity and Data Science in Himalayan Institute of Technology. Today we are going to discuss about product rule. So here we have product rule, and also we are going to discuss about problems on product rule. So in the last session we have discussed on sum rule and what is meant by sum rule, what are the problems that we can solve in sum rule that we have discussed. So the continuation of this year, the next topic, that is product rule under basic building blocks, so that we are going to discuss in today's class, and also we are going to discuss about what are the problems. So first let us discuss what is meant by product rule, what is the definition of the product rule. So here, if events E1 and E2 so on up to En can happen in E1, E2, En ways respectively. So in the same way, in the previous class we have discussed about events, no? So like E1, E2 so on En can happen in E1, E2 so on small en ways. So then the sequence of events, E1 first followed by E2 followed by En can happen in E1 into E2 into En ways. Or if an event is occurring in M ways and second event can occur in N ways, and if number of ways the second event occur does not depend on how the first event occur, then two events can occur simultaneously in M into N ways. So what is meant by this here is, so here what we are saying is, event 1 is occurring and event 2 is also occurring, and both the events should occur simultaneously, means it is mandatory that you should have both the events here. So then, or both the events are occurring means what? Both are going to occur. But in the sum rule, either E1 or E2 is going to occur. But here, so E1 and E2 is going to occur. So if both are going to occur, definitely you have to do multiplication. Why? Because both are going to involve here. Here only one is going to involve here. The chances are 2, but we are only one is going to occur. So this is the difference between here sum rule and product rule. That's what in the definition we have here. If an event is occurring in M ways and second event can occur in N ways, so and if number of ways the second event occur does not depends upon how the first event is going to happen. So whatever the ways, the number of ways the second event is going to occur, it does not depends upon the first event occur. Then two events can occur simultaneously. Obviously we'll have the chances to occur both the events simultaneously. Then that's why we are going to product, that is nothing but we are going to multiply it. Now let us see the problems on here, product rule. First question is here, if two distinguishable dice are rolled, in how many ways can they fall? So let us suppose we have two distinguishable dice. This is one. So then let us suppose this is green and this is red. Okay. So maximum chances are what here? 6 chances. And here also 6 chances. So both are two distinguishable dice are at a time they are rolling here. In how many ways can they fall here? So maximum chances 6, and here also we have 6 chances. So here both are going to. Why? Because 2 are going to occur, then it is end. If 6 and 6 we have, 6 into 6 is what here? Total 36 ways they will fall. One die can fall in 6 ways. First dice can fall in for 6 ways. Second die can fall in again 6 ways. Both are going to occur here. That's why 6 into 6 is equal to 36 here. And in the same way here, so this is what answer, 6 into 6 is equal to 36 ways can fall. And the second one is here, if 5 distinguishable dice are rolled, how many possible outcomes are there? So here in the previous question, 2 means, that's why 6 into 6. Now 5 means what? 6, 6, like that 6 dice we have. So it's total altogether 5. So 6 power 5 will have here the answer, whatever you are going to get, that is the answer you'll get. Okay. So this is what 5 distinguishable dice and 2 distinguishable dice. So let us suppose go for the another question. So the same questions, whatever we are discussed in the third sum rule, the same questions, but in terms of the product rule we are going to discuss here. So a man wants to spend his evening in the following way, and first he would like to do some shopping, then he would like to go to cinema hall, and finally he would like to go to a restaurant. So here if you observe the meaning of the question, so a man, a particular person, he wants to spend his evening. So by going cinema hall, restaurant and also shopping. So that is nothing but he wants to visit all the three. So one by one he want to visit all the three. But whereas in the previous session, sum rule question, he wants to spend his evening either as shopping or restaurant or cinema hall. But here he wants to spend all the three one by one. So that is nothing but all are going to happen. So this is, if you observe, this is one event, this is another event, this is another event. So all the three events are going to happen here. And as we have included end here, so then obviously we can use the product rule, that is nothing but multiplication we will be applying. So if there are 6 shopping, means even in the event also we have 6 ways or 6 shopping complexes, and here we have 8 cinema halls, and also we have how many restaurants is 9 restaurants we have. So then obviously as he wants to spend all the 3 here, then 6 into 8 into 9. So here if you observe here 6 8 is 48. So what is 48 into 9 here? 9 8 is 72. 9 4 is 36. 36 plus 7 here 43. So altogether how many ways here we have? 42 ways. So he can spend his evening by going to cinema hall, restaurant and shopping. How many ways here is? 432 ways he can spend his evening by visiting all the 3 one by one. So this is the answer for the second question here. Next, third question. A bookshelf holds 5 different maths books, 6 computer books and 10 statistics books. So let us suppose a bookshelf we have here. So where it includes here 5 math books and 6 computer books and 10 statistics books. Okay, so now in how many ways 3 books be selected? So means I want to select 3 books and the 3 books also must be selected, 1 in each subject here. So obviously we'll have the chances here 5 into 6 into 10 is equal to total 300 ways here. He can select 3 books in 300 ways. Okay, so this is a question and answer for this. Now, fourth question, a new company with just 2 employees. So let us suppose a new company is there. So we have only 2 employees and those persons' names are Rahul Patel and Rahul and Patel. So this is the second person, he is the first person here. So rents a floor of a building with 12 offices. How many ways are there to assign 2 different offices to these 2 employees? So here a new company we have 2 employees, only Rahul and Patel. So rents a floor of a building with 12 offices. So how many ways are there to assign different offices to these 2 employees? So means here, so Rahul and Patel both are there. Now I want to assign different offices for them. Total how many we have here? So altogether we have 12. Means if I am assigning one office to Rahul, means how many chances he is having? 12. Now, if I am assigning Patel 11 offices, I can't assign 12 offices again to Patel. Why? Because if one is assigned to Rahul, then obviously that can be deleted for the Patel. So then obviously he'll have only 11 chances for the Patel. So why? Because how many ways are there to assign different offices? And obviously, if one office is assigned to Rahul, that office should not be assigned to Patel. So that's why for the first person we'll have 12 ways, and for the second person, if one is deleted, if that different office is deleted from the Patel, then definitely you'll have 11 chances. So 12 into 11 here. So what is the answer you'll get here? 11 2s are 22, 11 1s are 11, 13, 132 ways we'll have. Means 132 ways here I can assign the different offices to these 2 persons like Rahul and Patel. So next we have another question. So how many 3-digit numbers can be formed? By using the digits here, what are the digits here? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. So here I want to assign here 3-digit numbers. So here, how many 3-digit numbers can be formed using these digits? So by using these digits, I want to form a 3-digit number. Like here, let us suppose these are the 3-digit numbers. Now I want to assign 3-digit numbers. So how many numbers are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Total how many digits we have? 7. Means for the 3-digit number, this is obviously here units place, tens place and hundreds place. So for the units place here, how many ways are there? 7 ways. And for the tens place here, so obviously here they didn't mention that the 1 should not be repeated here. So obviously here also we'll have 7 ways. And even for hundreds place also we have 7 ways. So like this, if you observe, all the 3 events are going to happen simultaneously. So here then you will have 343 ways. That means 343 3-digit numbers you can form it here. So 343 3-digit numbers you can form it. So in the same way here, what is the second question? How many 3-digit numbers can be formed if no digit can be repeated? So the first question is, they did not mention in the question, they did not give any restriction that, so all the 3-digit numbers should be different. That means it should not be repeated. Any digit cannot be repeated. But whereas in the B bit here, so no digit can be repeated. Means if one digit, if you are writing here, that means if the units place is having 7 chances, obviously the digit cannot be repeated in tens place or hundreds place. Then obviously you'll have 6 ways. And in the hundreds place, you'll have 5 ways. So like this here, 7 into 6 into 5. Altogether how many here? 7 6 are 42. 42 into 5, 5 2 is 10, 5 4 is 21. Total altogether we have 2 10 3-digit numbers can be formed if no digit is repeated. So this is the answer for the 5th question. So in the same way, we have another one. So suppose a girl and a boy representative should be selected from the class of 40 girls and 20 boys. Means, let us suppose we have a class. So where we have, out of this class, where we have 40 girls, 20 boys. We have 40 girls and 20 boys. In how many ways we get a boy and girl representative? So in the previous session question, we have to select only one student as a CR from boys and girls altogether. Means either a boy, either a girl we will get. But here, one from girl and another from boy we have to get. Means to get the representatives, to get the class representative, so I am taking one from girl and another one from boy. So obviously we'll have here 40 into 20 is equal to 800 ways we can select a boy and a girl representative out of this 40 girls and 20 boys here. So next we have, I think this is the last question here under the product rule. So the question is here, how many 3-digit even numbers are there which are even and have no repeated digits? So here we are using all the digits 0 to 9. So 0 to 9 means what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So altogether we have how many digits here? 10 digits. Now I want to form 3-digit even numbers. I want to form only 3-digit even numbers. 3-digit means what? So the number which is ending with the even number, that we can say that even number. So let us suppose this is 0. We can end with 0. That is one even number. So we can also 2, 4, 6, 8. So like how many chances we have here? 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Altogether we have 5 ways to get the ending number as 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Means, so here we are considering 2 cases, case 0 or case 1, case 2. For example, this is case 1, this is case 2. Okay. So let us suppose the number ending with 0. Let us suppose here number ending with 0. So if the number is ending with 0, 3-digit even number, so let us suppose the number is ending with 0. Obviously, the next one will have 9 ways and the other one will have 8 ways. So how many we have here? If the number is ending with 0, we'll have only one chance here. So that is nothing but here 8 into 9, 72 ways. So 8 into 9 is equal to total 72 ways the number ending with 0 we have here. So in the same way, case 2. So if the number is ending with 0, this is already done here. Next other chances are what here? So number ending with 2, 4, 6 or 8. So let us suppose here how many ways here? The first one will have 4 ways. So the number ending with 4 ways, means either can be 2 or 4 or 6 or 8. Altogether we have 4 ways here. So out of the digits total 10, here we are taking only 2, 4, 6, 8. This means here we'll have only 4 ways. But other ways here, so here that number cannot be included. So here obviously here how many ways we'll have here? 8. So why I am taking here 8 is, so 0 cannot start with 3-digit number. So in the 3-digit number, if I am going to start with 0, obviously it will become 2-digit number but not 3-digit number. So that's why I cannot include 0 also. That 0 and this number 10 minus 2 is what? 8 here. If 10 minus 2, 8 is what? Then if I am going to use this number here, obviously here we'll have 8 chances. So here we are considering here the first number is ending with 8. So that is nothing but what we have done is here. So the last number is ending with 4. So that is nothing but 4 or 6 or 8. So the last we have 4 ways and the first one obviously will have here 8. So why? Because 8 means, so 2 or 4 or 6, 8, one number, and here we can't start with first letter as 0. Why? Because if we are starting with ending with, it is starting with 0, then obviously it will become 3-digit number. So that's why here we'll have 8 chances. That number and 0 out of 10, if you remove 2 numbers, 8 will have. So that 0 can be included in the next one now. So that's why here again 2, if you remove it, you will get here 8 chances. So altogether 8 into 4 is equal to how much? 8. So 8 8 is 16, 16 4 is. So total altogether we'll have 8 into 4. 8 8 is 64. 64 into 4 is what here? 4 4 is 16, 4 6 is 24, 25. So 256 ways we can select 3-digit even number which are ending with 2, 4 or 6 or 8. But also we have to add 0, right? So why? Because the question is how many 3-digit even numbers can be formed and have no repeated digits by using all these digits. So total 256 plus 72 is what here? 328. So 328 3-digit even numbers we can form here by using these digits, like 10 digits 0 to 9 here. So this is a question here. Like this we'll have different type of logical questions which are useful in real life also. So by using sum rule and product rule, that's why we are calling it as this sum rule and product rule are basic building blocks of counting here. So that's what we have seen in the first session itself, like what are the applications of counting. So definitely it will be used for problem solving and it will be helpful in real life solving also. So what we have discussed today in this session is, so what is meant by product rule, what is the definition of the product rule, what are the examples of the product rule, and how to solve different types of examples on the product rule. So by this we'll end the session for today. Thank you.